Last year I went to my first convention at TFS. Now, if you don't know, Texas Furry Siesta is a smaller convention with an almost furry vibe to it. It was amazing to see the welcoming atmosphere and the creativity of the community on full display. In fact, I had such a great time, I went back this year. But before we get into that, make sure to like and subscribe and check out our Patreon to support the channel more directly. Texas Furry Siesta is held in the Hyatt Regency in downtown Dallas. Now, if you're not from Texas, you may not know that Dallas is a more upscale city. Us furries were sharing space with business folks and traveling families of all kinds. The families with kids were right there with us, having a good time and taking pictures with us. The kids especially really loved it. Now, the business folk weren't quite so sure what to make of the inherent chaos that a gathering of furries entails. But for the most part, I'm happy to report everyone was polite and amiable and well behaved. Now, I was in attendance on Saturday the 5th, smack dab in the middle of the con. I got there really early in the day, so I had time to sit down and enjoy my breakfast. The tables of the lobby were covered in furry event flyers, business cards, that sort of thing. I was there. I found out I missed out on a Furby event on Friday. It was a Furby event. No other information about this event was given on the flyers, just that it was a Furby event. If you were there, please tell me what happened at the Furby event. I want to know. Anyway, after breakfast, I went and got my badge, and I got suited up for the day. After being subjected to the wrath of the Texas summer heat, the Headless Lounge felt like heaven from the minute I walked in. Big industrial fans everywhere. After I got dressed, I was finally able to get moving and grooving. Now, most of the other rooms weren't open yet, so that gave me some time to sit there and socialize and get to meet a lot of the people who were there early alongside me. I was super stoked because this year's theme was the arcade. There, of course, was a retro arcade downstairs with cabinets and consoles galore, including a 3DO I honestly didn't expect to see. Now, there was also a tabletop gaming space with room for trading card dueling. If I had known that, I would have brought my Digimon cards. After a few rounds of Centipede and Galaga, I went back upstairs to find that things were picking up. I was able to show a few of the furries the magic of the stylus. Using these little things really help us use our phone when we're wearing our hand paws. They're a really useful tool. And I was handing out a couple because I brought a bunch. And I'll tell you this, the person who invents touchscreen compatible hand paws will be a zillionaire. A while later, I was actually able to attend a really nice panel on how to set up a terrarium. Super cool thing to learn about how nature can work in a microcosm. We also learned what bugs can help out their environment and help things thrive. And speaking of the environment, Nature's Edge Wildlife and Reptile Rescue were also there in attendance. I love seeing how our community is able to support these organizations that are dedicated to protecting the critters we all love so much. Later on, I was actually able to hop in on a panel for furry content creators. I told them all about what I do, what our channel is about, and how awesome you all are. So that's something I definitely want to look into doing again in the future, is volunteering for more of those panels. The merchant room was full of amazing craftspeople showing off what they made. From fursuits to badges to pins, there was all sorts of stuff on offer. I also was digging through some furry books of the publisher who was there, trying to find some of the old school furry zines. Now, I was disappointed to find that they mostly publish recent stuff with a bent towards being more spicy. Now, between events, I of course would go back and forth between the convention floor and the arcade downstairs. Also, I would take frequent breaks and hydration at the Headless Lounge. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't hurt yourself and stay hydrated. Also, take stairs easy because it's difficult to navigate with limited visibility and big stompy feet paws. No one wants to see you fall downstairs and get hurt. That'd be hilarious, but no one wants to see that. But later on in the afternoon, I actually saw a couple of scientists partition off an area and set up a bunch of GoPro cameras. They explained they were actually training an AI to recognize the individual characters for future conventions. I bet it'd be a lot easier to spot your friends in a picture when the AI is doing most of the heavy lifting. They said they were training the software by showing it pictures of suitors in various positions and angles so that they could identify the character by name, which is pretty cool stuff. As the evening rolled along, we got a live concert, and Sunfur had brought their giant speaker in and were holding an impromptu rave of all things. Now, I've been going pretty hard all day, so I was tuckered out by that point, so I just kind of sat and enjoyed everybody dancing and some conversation. But by the time I got home that night, I was all partied out. I ate a big dinner and I crashed hard. A lot of frequent convention-going furries talk about getting hit with some sort of post-convention depression. Now, while I can't describe myself as being depressed, I can totally understand the shift from a vibrant social atmosphere to the apparent mundanity of returning home. I already miss everyone at the convention, and I dare to say that I even made a few new friends in the process. I want to give a big shout out to a couple people. First of all, the staff at the Hyatt Regency Hotel for hosting the convention. Their staff were super kind and courteous. Also, lots of kudos to the convention staff and the wonderful volunteers who worked their tails off to make this happen. Big thanks to Lori, who was my ride up there and back, and to everyone in attendance who showed me how amazing this community can be all over again. Thank you all so much for making this happen and making this the best con yet. I hope to see you all again next year. If you've ever been to a furry convention, I highly recommend that you go at least once. Hanging out online is great, but it can't compare to seeing how awesome the community is in person. You can feel the positivity in the air. The vibes, as the kids say, were immaculate. Also, if you see yourself in any of these pictures I'm showing in the video, please let me know down in the comments and tell me what's the coolest thing you've ever seen or been a part of at the convention, or any convention. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye!